Hello and welcome to the concept discussion video of NEVA IAS. In this video, we are going to discuss the science and technological developments in Indian history. We have made it as a two-part video. In the first part video, which is this video, we are going to discuss the developments in ancient India. So questions can come on both fronts. Either ancient and medieval India can be combined together and it can be coming as a single question, or it can come separately as well. So in any which way, we are planning to give you enough points for a mains answer on this domain. So this is one of the core themes in science and technology, GS3, where developments in this domain in the past is being asked. Now this can also act as value additions for other answers. When you write about history or culture, science can become a dimension there. Or it can give you factual understanding for the prelims as well. Because this video is designed to give you that factual side as well. So let's go into the video. Now if a question like this comes, the introduction can be from where it all started. In India's case, it can be traced back to the Indus Valley times. We have given one example in the domain of architecture from Indus Valley time in this video itself. But when you write the introduction, you can write it like this. The developments in science and technology in India can be traced back to the Indus Valley times, that is up to 2500 BC. Now Indians have made contribution. So when we talk about India of that times, we are talking about the Indian subcontinent, not the modern day India. So there has been developments from the Indian subcontinent in every sector. So this video is divided sector wise. We have identified 7 different sectors and contribution from different personalities towards these sectors. Now the first sector on this regard is mathematics, and the two important names there is Aryabhatta and second is Brahmagupta. And when we write the answer, we can have 3 specific additions. One is the concept of zero. Now zero is a concept that was introduced in India. Whereas algebra and trigonometry, these two concepts were not introduced, but these two concepts were expanded by Indian mathematicians. So you can give all these 3 when it comes to development in mathematics in ancient India. And the two names associated would be Aryabhatta and Brahmagupta. Now second is in the field of astronomy. There again you can invoke Aryabhatta. The second name is Varahamihira. And the contributions that we have in this domain is the heliocentric solar system. So heliocentric means a system that is centered around the sun. So earlier it was believed that Earth is at the center and everything is revolving around the Earth, including sun. Heliocentrism is just the opposite, and this is something that Aryabhatta has come up with. Aryabhatta has done extensive studies on eclipses, then about planetary orbits. Now Varahamihira is more of an astrologer, not an astronomer. But astrology and astronomy were not two separate disciplines at that time. So we can give Varahamihira also along the domain of astronomy. Now third, we have the domain of metallurgy. Now here we can give 2 important examples. One is the iron pillar. These are testimonies to the development in metallurgy in India. Because within metallurgy, we don't have very specific dimensions. So we'll give 2 examples. One is iron pillar, which survives even today. If you go to the Qutb complex in Delhi, you can see the iron pillar. Now this can be traced back to the Ashokan times. From there, it was adopted by Guptas. There are some Gupta engravings here. Later it was taken by the Mughals, and now it is at the Qutb complex. So this is such a historic pillar and it doesn't rust. That is the importance. Next up, we can give the example of wood steel. This is high quality steel from India that had demand all across the world, including Europe. So these 2 examples will do for metallurgy. Then let's come to the field of medicine. So the first and foremost thing is the branch of medicinal knowledge that India developed, which is Ayurveda. So this terminology is very important. Then we can give 2 names. One is Charaka and Shushruta. Their works are Charaka Samhita and Sushruta Samhita. The picture that I've given here is Sushruta statue. Now when you write Sushruta, you can also write about surgery. So development of surgery, this is 1st century BC to 1st century AD. The time period can be 1st century BC to 1st century AD, around this time. So it is during this time the developments is happening with respect to Charaka and Sushruta. They have written their books. So these are the developments. These three together will cover the medicine sector. Next, engineering. Again, in engineering, we have an indigenous school of thought, which is the Vastu Shastra. Later, we can see something called the Shilpa Shastra as well, but that's a medieval development. Vastu Shastra is something you can give. You can even draw this diagram. Just draw a box, draw a head, a person is lying down. So the concept is, this is Vastu Purusha. The concept is Vastu Purusha is lying down in the ground. So when you construct a house, you have to be conscious of the head, the tail, that is the legs, the hands. So construction is planned according to the position of Vastu Purusha. That's Vastu Shastra. So that's something indigenous to Indian system. Second, we can give an example of the grid system in Indus Valley civilization. So grid system is something that is followed even now. Take the case of Barcelona, the modern town. Or you take the case of Chandigarh. Everything is planned proportionally. This is something that can be traced back to the Indus Valley times. So that was the development in the field of engineering during the Indus Valley time. So that can be an example. Then temples. There you can talk about rock cut temples during that time, which got transformed to structural temples. Then when we talk about the medieval, we can develop it into Dravida, Nagara styles. But here, just talk about rock cut and structural temples. Finally, textiles. Now when we study about exports from India during the Mughal period and the modern period, that is during the British, cotton and silk were the major components. Indian cotton and Indian silk were of very high demand. With respect to cotton, we have black soil here, so the production was high, and we have high quality weavers. So Indian artisans were of high quality, and this sector declined only with industrial revolution in Britain, with machine made cotton. And silk, we exported both raw silk as well as fabrics. So take any Indian king of the past, you will see him wearing, if at all we have a portrait, wearing a silk cloth. So silk was very developed. So these two sectors can also be given in the context of textiles. So we have given 7 specific sectors, different names, value additions. So this will be a proper structure for a mains answer on this question. And this will also, I hope this video has also given you factual understanding for the prelims as well. In the next video in the series, we'll talk about development in the medieval period as well. So that will be comprehensive to cover developments in science and technology in India's history. That's it. Thank you for listening.